So next one is coming from Ron Oliver, Ron Strides, United States. The new digital clock is stunning at first glance. What was the inspiration behind the new design, Klaus?
Yeah, Ron, thank you for the question. I'm glad you like the new design.
Hello again and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and as I promised, as anticipated, I'm not alone now. So please let me introduce our guests, starting with Santo Ficili, Chief Operating Officer Maserati and Chief Executive Officer of Alfa Romeo.
Good morning, everybody.
Cristiano Fiorio, Chief Marketing Officer of Maserati and General Manager of Bottega Fuoriserie.
Good morning, good afternoon to everybody.
Klaus Busse, Head of Maserati Design.
Hello.
And Davide Danesin, Head of Maserati Engineering.
Hello, everybody.
So before we start with the Q&A session, and thanks for being with us today, again, I remind you that if you want to type your question, you might use the box that you have on the right of the screen if you are using your personal computer, or just below the video if you are using a mobile device. So before we start with the flow of the question coming from our colleagues, Santo, I have one for you, which is coming also from the list of the questions we are receiving. So you were mentioning continuity and evolution. If you look at Maserati compared to 10 years ago, what feels most different to you?
Oh, for sure. When we talk about Maserati, we need to keep in mind the legacy, the story of this brand. So, for example, when we look at the design, when we look at the power of the engine, when we look at the performance of the cars, we cannot forget what we did in the past. Starting from these roots, we need to look at the future, projecting everything we did in the past, in evolution, of course, and where it's possible. As always, we need to respect the environment. So when we look at the Folgore version, when we look at the V6 version, and everything we are going to do, especially around the IC engine, we need to project our future in this direction. It's important, for sure, to work with our team, the team of Maserati, that is working hard to put the brand where it deserves to be for the future.
Thank you, Santo. So let's start with the question. The first one is from Piero Fachin, Auto 123 Canada. What is the space where these two models are being presented? So if the space is not the marketplace in terms of market, but the physical location where we have recorded the video, that is the Royal Palace of Venaria Reale, heritage of UNESCO, not far from Turin. Hope I answered your question. If not, please type again. So let's go with the next one, again with Piero Fachin. Will there be any special events planned in North America and particularly in Canada to celebrate the 100th anniversary? Cristiano?
Yeah, sure. So very interesting question. So the 25th of April this year, we celebrated the 100 year of the Trident. And starting the day, we have started 100 events around the world. This means that in every place in the world where we sell a Maserati, where we have our dealers, there are a number of events involving our clients and our prospects, our future clients. And yes, there will be dedicated events in Canada as well as in North America. North America just after summer, so where the cars are coming to the market, as well as for Canada.
Thank you, Cristiano, and thank you for the questions. Next question is coming from Lucy Abbott, Car Design News, United Kingdom. A design question, Klaus, I suppose this is for you. How do you balance referencing past icons and creating a new generation of icons through design?
Yeah, Lucy, thank you for that question. So when you look at Maserati design of the past, you can say that every 10 to 15 to 20 years, Maserati has completely reinvented itself. The elegant 50s, the dandy 60s, the provocative 70s, so on and so forth. And these changes were driven mostly by one of two elements, sometimes both, technology and society. Most famous in terms of technology, of course, is the mid-engine in the 70s that completely changed the shape of cars. Society, the post-oil crisis that went from the 70s to the 80s. But above all this, despite the fact that Maserati dramatically changed its design between those chapters, there's always a core DNA. It's the proportion, because Maserati design is only 50% relevant. The other part is the performance that is created by the engineers in Modena, and the performance that drives the proportion. Number two is the presence that these cars have. The face that we're also refreshing here with the models behind us, where we're really adding more intent, more attitude to the face. And the third part is our provenance. We're from Italy, and that is a greater scheme because we're truly representing Italy, our role in the world, connecting people through beauty. So these elements are guiding us, and the past is emotional, is our energy, but really it's always finding that next chapter driven by technology, driven by society.
Thank you, Klaus, and thank you for the question. So next one is coming from Mark Bogan, Auto Week, United States of America. What are the biggest markets for Maserati around the world?
So we can say that Maserati is the luxury brand inside Stellantis. We can say that 1/3 is Europe, 1/3 is North America, and the other third is the rest of the world. When we look at it at Europe in particular, we can say that we are selling 50-50 between Italy and the other countries, more or less. There are countries where, of course, we can do better than today. I'm imagining Germany, where we see potential customers, and also worldwide. I'm imagining emerging countries where we can, let's say, increase sales. And this direction, of course, we are working to create a new footprint of dealers that can represent our brand everywhere in the world.
Thank you, Santo. Next one, we stay in North America, in the US, with Chris Smith, Carbuzz. With changing tides in numerous markets, notably North America, is there any consideration for bringing V8 back to Gran Turismo?
I go and then you can support me. I would like to share with you all the fact that today we have one of the best, if not the best, V6 in the world. That is our Nettuno. So the team here is working to develop this engine. It's an evolution. We are imagining also to go in a, let's say, hybrid environment. Of course, we are also considering the V8. But at this time, what is important for us is to exploit as much as possible the potentiality of the V6 without forgetting the Folgore version that we are offering today on GT, Gran Turismo, Gran Cabrio, and Folgore. But of course, we are not forgetting the possibility to have also the V8, although the penetration of this engine in the total of the engines we are offering or we will offer in the future will be always something marginal. But it's a point that we are considering, of course.
Thank you. Davide?
I think, Santo, you already said, we're very proud of our V6 engine, which actually is really a great piece of technology. But of course, we have the knowledge, we have the capability, eventually also to consider a V8. We know there's some people in the world that still believe that should be an engine that Maserati should have. So as you said, we are considering, we can say today we're going to make it.
Yeah. So if I can add another information, of course, we are used to stay close with our customer. The question that is always coming is about the sound of the engine. So, Davide, we worked already on this. So improving the sound of the V6 today is exactly in the direction, in line with what the customer are asking to us today.
Thank you. Let's continue the dialogue among Lucy Abbott and the design team with Klaus here representing. And can you point out nods to Maserati's heritage through the design, perhaps a design element that isn't normally noticed?
Yeah, Lucy, gladly. When we look at the Gran Cabrio, the Gran Turismo behind us, but also the Grecale, what you see is actually the construction of the main volumes. One of my favorite cars in our history is the 1954 A6 GCS, which is basically a road-going race car, which is the core of this idea of Gran Turismo, performance and style. And to make it road going, they pretty much took a Formula One chassis that was just a central fuselage, and they had to cover the wheels, they had to add lights. And to do that, they added those big volumes of the wheels, and that also introduced the position for the lights. And this kind of construction you see in all the cars behind me. So especially again on the Gran Turismo, this low central fuselage, the low Y0 line. And the Y0 line can be low because of that V6. The V8 would have been too bulky, would have driven up the proportion, but the V6 can be packaged as a mid-front engine, very low, very compact, and it even has Formula One technology. So also there is the connection to racing. And then we add these beautiful volumes on either side to hold the wheels, and then that shape also includes the headlights, just like we did in 1954.
Thank you, Klaus, and thank you, Lucy, for the question. So let's move to engineering, and we have a question from Pedro Martin, Vocento ABC, from Spain. What is the maximum DC power recharge for the Gran Turismo Folgore? How many times spent for charging 10 to 80%, for example? Very specific question.
Very specific. Hello, Pedro. Yeah, I mean, the Gran Turismo Folgore system, it's an 800 volt system. So it's actually capable of charging up to 270 kilowatts. This translates in a time for charging from 10% to 80%, as you mentioned, of about 18 minutes. These are figures in, let me say, ideal condition. That means that, of course, you plugged on a capable charging port that is capable of delivering up to 300 kilowatts, and this is the result the best result we can get with this system. It's actually pretty good numbers. I would say state of the art in the market, aside for some other, declaration from competitors, but that sometimes are not really applicable because the charging power is not yet available in the normal places. Let me say.
Thank you very much. Next one is coming from Nathan Chadwick, Magneto, UK. Will the Gran Turismo head back into one-make racing? That proved very successful for the old Gran Turismo.
Let me say 2 words, and then Cristiano for sure can be more precise than me. So we cannot forget again our story in the racing. We are still racing today with the GT2 that is also delivering very, very good result. So probably today is not the right time to talk about the Gran Turismo, but for sure we are also considering development in this direction, right, Cristiano?
Yeah, Santo, maybe my only answer would be wait, not too much, and see.
Exactly.
Very good. So excited for that. Thank you for the question. So next one is coming from Ron Oliver, Ron Strides, United States. The new digital clock is stunning at first glance. What was the inspiration behind the new design, Klaus?
Yeah, Ron, thank you for the question. I'm glad you like the new design. Obviously, we're looking at 2 areas, and one is our own history of the different shapes that the clock has had in the past. And there was not really the one single defining shape. We've been round, we've been elliptical, pointy at the top and the bottom. So that gave us some liberty to explore new things. And so the other area we obviously looked at was luxury watches that had the more defining casings. So those 2 areas combined created what you see now in the new Gran Turismo and the new Grecale.
Thank you very much, Klaus. Thank you for the question. Next one is coming from Lauren Fix, Car Coach Reports, United States. Will customization be available for the full lineup or just specific cars?
Well, I like very much the question because Fuoriserie, which is our program of customization, is a pillar of the strategy of Maserati. So we have boosted, thanks to Santo and his vision, the program. That means that we have enlarged our ability to do more bespoke activities on the customization. We have a little bit lowered the entry price in order to reach a wider audience. Today, as of today, 1 car out of 4 of Maserati are customized or Fuoriserie. cars. That means that all our models, to reply to your question, are in the program for this area. You start your personalization through our website. That, by the way, starting tomorrow, it will have a new configurator 3D that will enhance also the possibility of starting your personalization and playing with colors, trims for this area. And then, of course, once we attract the customers, we end up the customization up to a full bespoke activity that happens in Modena, where today is also our center of excellence for this area, and where we have a lot of people coming to personalize their car. So yes, we have all the lineup, and we intend to continue to enlarge our offer.
Thank you, Cristiano. I think Cristiano, next question is very linked to that from Stephen Ewing from Edmunds. The percentage of customers, you mentioned 1/4, so we can say 25%, right?
Yeah, it's 25%. It's good to say that today, thanks to the implementation of the program, we arrived to 1 car out of 4. In the past, we started at the beginning of 25 with 12%. So thanks to the work we are doing in having more offer for the upper hand and a better entry price for the lower hand and for Grecale, we have reached this level of penetration, which is for us key.
If I can, it's also important in this case to involve our network, the dealers, that as always, they are the contact, the point to meet our customers. So there is in place strong planning, training activity to have all the salesmen ready to answer to these specific requests that are coming from the customer in terms of personalization. It's an important point where we will focus more than today in the next future.
Absolutely. Thank you. Next one is coming from Ryan Maxin, US News and World Report. So you mentioned a lot of improvements for these models, including range and driving dynamics. But what do you think is the single biggest improvement consumers should focus on when considering these models? I, of course, go through all of you. Yeah. Maybe we can start with you, Sant.
First of all, this answer is perfect for us because we are putting together the design of our product, so the proportion of our product. You can see 3 jewels here behind us. So it's important to have the perfect design. It's important to have the interior with the, let's say, material, craftsmanship done with big quality. And then, of course, the performance of our cars. This is to be done together, and the team here is working exactly in this direction. Really, we are putting our customer in the center of all our activities. So we are talking, listening continuously the feedback that are coming from our customers. So this is the result that is following also what we did the MC Pura in the recent past. So this must, let's say, be the path that we will follow for the future, putting together design, performance of the cars.
Thank you. Cristiano, what do you think is the biggest improvement for you?
Honestly, I think that there are 2 things which I like very much. First of all, is the design. I think that the team did a great job because when we say a more assertive car, I believe it's still very elegant. And when you have an elegant car, sometimes it's not too aggressive. In this kind, I think that the merge of being a little bit more aggressive and still being very sensual it's amazing. So I think that this is something I like very much because it was not easy to upgrade the front of a Maserati, which is always one of the nicest parts to see. And I like very much the interior. I think that this haptic work that has been done by engineering and design, so you have really the digital touch, but you have also a physical response, which is very much about the values of Maserati. We always say that we are a multi-sensory brand. You have to sense everything. We were speaking about the watch. By the way, the watch is made by real material, and this is another upgrade, as all the PR&D. So these are those kind of things that we really like. And I like to drive, so I think that the new steering wheel is also amazing.
And let's conclude with Klaus and David.
Well, I think just the way the car looks, the new face, I think, I shouldn't compliment my team's work myself, that should come from you, but I'm very satisfied with what the team has delivered. But the color is also stunning, isn't it? Yeah, this matte green, the black wheels, and then of course that the guys in Monada were able to find even more horsepower in the V6. Shows you what the capability of the engineering team is.
So since we are speaking about colors, we have three amazing colors here. Green Jupiter, which is an amazing launch color I think we have worked with. Blue Denim, which is also very nice. And I believe that these colors give another attitude to our Gran Turismo and Gran Cabrio. And then we have the Grigio Lamiera of the Grecale, which is also stunning. So new colors that upgrade even more our range.
Yeah, I think maybe I can direct to what you was not already mentioned by you. I mean, so the engineering side of the improvements. For sure, what we did was to focus on what our customer would care more in the various versions. So when it comes to Folgores cars, where the performance were originally very good already, we've been focusing on range. When we came to the Trofeo car, it was the 40 horsepower more to improve the driver experience in high sport driving. When it comes to, let me say, the Modena version, it's very much about the convenience in general, so the experience on the interiors with the new PRD, the parking, paddles by parking functionality, and also what we've been doing to improve the drivability of all cars, to be able to drive in traffic with a high level of convenience. And also, of course, I would mention the 380 horsepower version for the Grecale, which takes the Nettuno engine into, to a broader group of potential customers.
We cannot, Davide, forget also the improvement, very good improvement related to the Folgore version for the three models, GT, GC, and also Grecale.
Yes,
it's another
yes,
important point.
I mean, it was the range was very much our focus on Gran Turismo. It was an improvement on 90 kilometers, which is quite a sensible number for customer. With the front axle disconnect, so by disconnecting the front axle of the car and then gaining efficiency. And the same we've been doing for the Grecale, taking the range up to 580 kilometers. So even the Folgore version now have improved their everyday usability, without forgetting, of course, the Maserati driving experience.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for all your feedbacks and comments. Let's stay with you, Davide, with the next question coming from Nathan from Magneto. Yeah. Could we have more technical details on the suspension changes and how it works with the country mode?
The country mode came very much from our experience and from customer experience of using the car. Given the nature of the Gran Turismo, we pay a lot of attention to the fact that the car should be really convenient and usable every day. So we do want to take the Maserati sporty driving experience into the everyday world. I mean, the GT is really the best representative of it. So sometimes when you come to sport car or lower car, if you want, one of the issues when you going to a place where there's disconnection on the road, or maybe you have you're living in the country, maybe you have a piece of road which is not really in good conditions. We still have been having the function of rising up the car, but this is a kind of function that is lasting until a certain speed. So we said, why don't we introduce this country mode? With this country mode, we rise up the car by 25 millimeters, and we then tuned shocks and engine to be in the best way possible when you are driving on rough roads. So basically, the car stays higher until you came out from the country mode, and everything in terms of calibration of the system, it's optimized for this new height. And so the car in this case, I mean, we also know that the Gran Turismo, it's an all-wheel drive car. It's an all-wheel drive. It's part of the Gran Turismo. So this traction capability, together with this new setup of the suspension, really makes the Gran Turismo behaving astonishing in all situation, including the one that you would think to take with an off-road car. So this is really an extension, an important extension of the capability of the Gran Turismo.
Thank you very much. So next one is coming from Dominique Fontigny, Autotrend, Belgium. So some producer of supercars are moving away for the moment from EV models. What do the EV models represent in the total annual production volume of Maserati so far?
So when we look at the brands in the luxury, let's say, segment, well, there are someone developing, there are someone coming back, there are someone waiting. We have already the line of Folgore. And as Davide was saying, we are investing on BEV because we think that in the future it's not easy today to see or to understand when we will move in this transition. But we did already the investment and we are developing still today this engine. So there will be a future for the BEV vehicle. So we think that we need to stay there, of course, improving, respecting again the needs of our customer. Of course, we cannot forget the other kind of powertrain, meaning the V6 or the other things that we are developing. But for sure, the Folgore is always in the middle of our ideas. If you look at the mix today, it's not so big, but it's growing. That is important. It's growing. No, not so fast, but it's growing. So we cannot keep in mind that there are customers asking for BEV vehicle.
Thank you very much. Next one is coming from Charlie Martin, Autocar, United Kingdom. And we're moving from Folgore to the Nettuno engine. So the Nettuno was already a remarkably efficient engine. How much more headroom do you think you have to develop it further? And how important is having a high-power combustion engine to Maserati's identity?
So maybe I can answer the first half and then Santo or Cristiano the second half. The Nettuno engine is right. It's quite an efficient engine. And the technology and the patent we've been using on that engine reached this result that is making us quite proud of this solution. But for the future developments, the big advantage of these technologies is that we will be able to still meet the emissions targets of the next years without losing power. You will see that many other engines in the market, by the time they are getting updated for the new emission targets, tend to lose power. The big advantage of the Nettuno is that we can stay on the same power or even improve and then still follow the roadmap for emission. This is the biggest technical advantage of our solution with the pre-chamber technology.
Yeah.
Thank you. You want to complement?
No, just to say that I'm personally in love, let me use this word, with this engine, because the elasticity of this model, this engine. So we have the 390 horsepower in the Grecale, we can reach more than 700 horsepower in the Extrema. So this is the representation of the quality of this engine that is coming directly from the Formula One. So there is space to improve, and I think that this engine is a super power. It's a very good engine that is able to satisfy different kind of needs of our customers.
Thank you. So staying connected to this, what kind of hybridization can we expect, is asking Largus from France.
Okay, so let's be, we can be kind of straight in these answers, because of course we do see an hybrid future for the Nettuno, because it's another step of performance that we can get, also giving additional value to the customer in future. We have in our, let me say, technical portfolio of solution, both low hybridization, I would say, for low hybridization, 48 volt, and eventually high voltage hybridization, while instead we're not pursuing solution with the plug-in hybrid. So, it means cars with bigger battery that you can charge, because for such a kind of use, we do think the Fulgor are still a good solution. So we actually do see mild hybrid hybridization, high voltage hybridization, not plug-in hybridization.
Thank you. Next one is coming from Raan Mazumder. I hope I pronounced it the right way, from Motor Biscuit, United States. How do you aggressively expand the ultra-exclusive Bottega Fuoriserie program to a high-volume SUV like the Grecale without completely diluting the premium rarity that your six-figure Gran Turismo buyers expect? Cristiano, maybe we can
It's
start
a
from you.
very, very interesting question. So, first of all, I would not say that we are a high volume brand. We are a niche brand that delivers the right volume to preserve the identity and the positioning we have. I believe that Fuoriserie and Bottega are quite a different topic, because we have a potential which is expressed by the world on the very upper end of the pyramid, which historically has always been active in Maserati with the world of few off, and we are exploiting that. We have done it with Extrema, and we will continue doing. We are cooking some other new ideas with the team. On the other hand, I believe that all the Fuoriserie programs, which are exactly tying to the customer demand, so they are giving the possibility to personalize their cars also to Grecale. They also express our strengthen our positioning into the world of luxury. So I believe that there is no problem of dilution, actually, of our equity. On the contrary, I believe that all what we are doing with Bottega Fuoriserie, with the Fuoriserie programs, by the way, we are also pushing a lot on the programs related to classic cars, which is a huge program that Maserati has started a couple of years ago and is expanding. And all these are meant to strengthen our brand positioning, and I don't see any problems of dilution at all.
Thank you. Santo, you want to complement?
No, it's okay. You were super clear.
Okay, very good. So, another question from Lucy Abbott from Car Design News. How big is the design team, Klaus, behind these redesigns? How closely did the design team work together?
Yeah, hello again, Lucy. So the first question, allow me not to answer. We like to keep these things internal. Because it's also difficult to benchmark when you say design team. Is it the people that sketch, the people that model, color and trim, right? So it's difficult to really measure and give a fair answer. But I'm happy to speak about the second part. When you say work together, I assume you also mean with a team outside design, meaning with our friends in engineering. And I can't stress enough how important this collaboration is with our engineers. I think I've never worked, and I've been working for so many different companies, as you probably know. I've never worked for a company where the mutual respect between design and engineering is so high as in this case. And that's purely down to the idea of Gran Turismo, which is performance and style combined. You cannot have a Maserati that only looks good, and you cannot have a Maserati that only drives nicely. So we have this mutual respect. And I would consider David not just a colleague, but actually a close friend. And so when we work together, I think you cannot be a designer at Maserati without even having an understanding of engineering. When you look at the MC Extrema, that car was designed and the engineers only had to do a few changes. At the same time, I think you cannot be an engineer at Maserati without having a real deep appreciation for the beautiful things in life. And there have been more than one instances where David and his team actually came to me with a design proposal, whether it's a detail or larger things. So there's a lot of deep collaboration.
Thank you.
I would like to add just my point of view. So Klaus is a professor. I'm always fascinated when he, with his pencil on a piece of paper, is able to design a car. I'm always looking like it is a genius, no? And the team of Klaus is correct, totally correct what we are saying. Is used to work together. And in Maserati, we have a team daily working together, meaning, of course, design, meaning engineering, marketing, sales, all the other department of Maserati in Modena, where we have our headquarters, they are used to work together. So, and these are the result of the job that we do every day together. So, personally, I'm proud to follow this team of people. So, thank you for everything you do every day.
Thank you very much. And Klaus, you have evolved the face of the Maseratis. What was the biggest risk you took in the design transformation, if any?
Yeah, the good thing is we started this journey actually as an experiment on the MC Extrema. And the MC Extrema, as you know, is a track-only car, limited to 62 pieces. And so we were able to do things that we weren't ready to yet to do for a street car. Because the track is an isolated environment. Again, it's only 62 pieces, so we went very aggressive, very horizontal. But the aggression was not a cliche, it was not a motive. It was actually because of performance of the aerodynamic, the splitter separating air from the upper to the lower deck of the car. So it was fully functional. And the result actually was even surprising me when we got feedback from our customers that they consider the car beautiful, because it was never intended to be beautiful. It was intended to be top performing IKA for the track. So we felt encouraged to experiment with this going into GT2 racing, and then when we brought GT2 racing to the road with the GT2 Stradale, to continue that storytelling. The next logical step was MC Pura, and when that came out and immediately was recognized by Quattroruote in Italy as Dream Car of the Year, for us it was a clear signal that this is also the right move to go to Grecale and to Gran Turismo.
Thank you. Thank you. Next question is coming from Piero Facchini again from Auto 123 Canada. Well, when will these two models be available in Canada? Cristiano, I think.
After summer.
Yeah.
So we are going to US just after summer. We will ship the car in August, time of arrival, and there will be North America, Canada that will see the new models coming. And as I said before, not only models but events for the 100 years.
Yeah. Thank you. Next one is coming from Byron Hurd, The Drive, US. You noted, I think this is about you, Cristiano, that Gen Z and Gen Alpha are retro seekers. We have also been data suggesting that younger buyers are increasingly interested in sedans. Does Maserati see a future for that segment, sedans?
I will start, and I think I will pass it also to Santo, because I believe we are both lovers of sedans. So first of all, I believe that sedan will come back. I am not sure with the original reference of original sedan, but with some evolution. I mean, we do SUVs, the world is full of SUVs, but a modern interpretation of a sedan can change. So I believe that there will be space for a sort of a sedan which is a little bit more capable maybe than the historically, but still aggressive. And I also believe that the world of Quattroporte is exactly looking for something new. Because at the end of the day, there is this bridge that still haven't been done between SUVs and the old sedans. And I believe so that there is space also for us to find the right car to be done. So the answer is absolutely yes, and I have to say that I love the movement of Generation Alpha and Z, because I see how much they are liking the stories, maybe because today the world is so much commoditized that true stories like the one of Maserati, which by the way, it will be also told on a movie coming in the next months, is something that really fascinates all the young generations.
If I can just add an information, when we look at the story of Maserati, we can recognize two different pillars. One is the Gran Turismo world, where we have the GT2 Stradale, the MC Pura, the Gran Turismo, the Gran Cabrio, and of course, without forgetting the Extrema. In the other side, we are not today present in this E segment where we have our legacy, our story, meaning Quattroporte, the sedan, or Ghibli. So in this direction, we are developing new model because there is a specific request coming from customer. When we look at this segment, we cannot forget the E-SUV segment, where we were present in the past with the Levante. Levante is just a Quattroporte sedan. So there is space, and that's the direction where we are imagining to go very soon. We cannot forget also the Grecale, car you see here, that is doing the right job between, let's say, the Gran Turismo and this world of Quattroporte Levante. So for sure there is a direction, that a hole, if I can, that we need to cover as soon as possible to find again the satisfaction of specific customers that are asking for this kind of product.
Thank you both for your answers. Let's go to Mark Vaughan again from AutoWeek, USA. Where do you see the most opportunity for growth in the global market, also considering what we are launching today, but also what we are planning for the future?
So if I can, in this sense, we don't have limits. Of course, we can improve in North America, where there are potential customers in the big cities we have in all North America, without forgetting Canada, of course. Then when we look at also South America, there are big cities where there are customers asking for a Maserati product. Looking at Europe, the performance at this time is satisfactory in terms of penetration of the market, sales, but there is space to grow. In countries like Germany, for example, where I see possibility to grow. And then when we look at the East or Far East, also there are emerging countries. There is specific requests coming also from local entrepreneurs that are asking for our brand. So in this sense, again, no limits. There is a team in the company, in Maserati, that is working, looking at all the possibility we can have globally.
Thank you very much. Next one is coming from Kim Kaya, RPM, Canada. Can you explain further how the new PR&D controls change the user experience and how they are designed to help drivers keep their hands on the steering wheel? So we can go back to the elegance with intent and combine the answer from design and engineering.
Yeah, in this case, I think design speaks to both worlds, the engineering design as well as the style design. I'll start and then I'll hand over to you. I think there's a couple of things we did. Number one, we gave it much more visual presence. They are now much more three-dimensional. Of course, the fact that we're using real material and showing off the real material is making them also visibly more present. But then I think equally, if not more important, is what our French in engineering have done, the haptic technology they have developed.
Yes. Of course, using haptic technology enabled some more features in this important way of if you want, commanding gearbox, because just by touching the metal, we are able to show to the driver actually which kind of button is actually going to press. And then, of course, in the experience, I mean, you're touching metal buttons, which are kind of much more rewarding to respect to classical plastic buttons. And then when you press, the function is confirmed, either visually, but also by tactile sensation. And this tactile sensation it has been carefully developed in a way that is really giving the best experience. So let's say all this electronic together with the haptic feedback is actually enabling the command become let's say more sophisticated, but then much easier usable, especially in condition maybe where the driver cannot really look at the buttons continuously. Then on top of that, we developed the paddle shifting in parking. What does it mean? How does it work? It works that, as an example, for the first time I'm doing some maneuver, I need to go in reverse, pressing the button in the center console. But then you will see that there's in the HMI of the cluster, the parking by pedal functionality will activate, informing the driver that now he can switch gears through pedals. That means, for example, that if I need to change from reverse to drive several times because I'm actually doing a maneuver, I can do it through the pedals without going back to the PR&D. And this is very convenient, of course. And it's a kind of function that you really get used immediately and you would never then lose it again. And of course, when you then drive away and surpass a certain speed, the system deactivate and then the paddle come back to become the regular shifting by pedal, and the HMI will inform the driver that then the situation, the feature is changed and went back to normal mode. So this is what we've been doing, so improve the experience on the PRD side, but adding functionality to the pedal to even, improve more the parking experience.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your very detailed answers. And talking about gearbox, there is another question from Charlie Martin, Autocar United Kingdom. There appears to be a growing appetite for manual gearboxes. What do you see from your customers? And is there an opportunity for Maserati there?
I will take a part for Bottega Fuoriserie because I have to say that in the upper part of the pyramid, so when we speak about Bottega products, few off, it's true. Let's say that mainly 50% of our customers do demand a manual gearbox as they all demand the petrol engines. So we can say they are also retro seekers. And the answer is the day we will be ready to present a new program for Bottega for Maserati. I hope it will be one day soon in the future. The answer is yes. I believe we will have to have a manual gearbox as well in our offering for a Bottega product.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next question is coming from Max K, Largus, France. How far will the collaboration with Alfa Romeo go?
So thanks for this question. The word collaboration is correct. We need to keep separated the soul of these different brands. One is premium, the other is luxury. Of course, there are points of contact between the two brands. For example, the job we are doing in Bottega Fuoriserie. And we are working to find the best collaboration in this direction. For example, when I look at Quadrifoglio, Giulia, or Stelvio, we created already the Giulia, Quadrifoglio, Luna Rossa throughout the job that Cristiano is doing today. We created also the one very nice version of Giulia and Stelvio, the Collezione version Quadrifoglio. We did the job in this, let's say, program, Bottega Fuoriserie. Of course, now we are focusing on the upper part of our range in Alfa Romeo, looking again at Giulia and Stelvio. And in this direction, also when we look at the future in terms of product development, we can imagine to find the collaboration with the engineering, why not, no? Looking at future model.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next question is coming from Ethan Yap, Evo Magazine, United Kingdom. Is there room to expand the Gran Turismo range in future into a more aggressive focus model, such as the last Gran Turismo MC Stradale?
Let me try. So I'm super satisfied about the design, engineering, everything we shared today together with you about the Gran Turismo and Gran Cabrio. For sure, we need to keep continuously animation around the model you see behind us. So in this direction, we are imagining for in the future to do something different, like comparing what we have today. We did already a good job looking at the performance of the car, new engine, let's say new power that we are introducing in Grecale, Gran Turismo, and Gran Cabrio. We are also imagining an evolution of the Gran Turismo in the racing world. It's too early today to talk about this because we have already the GT2 that is racing, but let's say sky is the limit in this direction, so we will see in the future. But for sure, the plan to develop the Gran Turismo is under control, under evaluation.
Thank you very much. Let's move from Gran Turismo to Grecale. A question from Ellis Hyde, Auto Express, UK. Does the new 390 horsepower V6 replace the two 4-cylinder engines offered in the Grecale, or do they remain part of the lineup to complement it?
Oh, okay, it's my turn, okay. At this time, we will offer together the two engines. As you all know, for sure, we need to respect homologation. So at this time, we will offer the two engines together. So we will see in the future, of course, because we think that the 390 horsepower of the 6-cylinder Nettuno, it's a good engine, very good engine that can do the job in this part of the market.
Yeah, it's also depend on the legislation in different countries.
So depending on country by country, exactly. The local homologation rules. So we will keep in consideration local rules, and then we will see the evolution of the engines for the future.
Very good. Thank you.
Just a small correction on the question there. It's actually 390 CV, which makes 385 HP. So the way it was written there was not fully correct.
Yeah.
So just to pass the right information to the audience, let's keep in mind this.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you. And in any case, all the correct informations are in the press kit you've been delivering with very soon. Thank you. So next one is coming from Nathan Chadwick again from Magneto. How was the extra horsepower, coming back to horsepower, for the Trofeo extracted? Engine changes or what?
So yeah, here it's about 40 CV more on the 550 original of the Gran Turismo Trofeo, which takes the power to 590. So basically we extended the boost after 5,000 up to 7,200. This made the torque last longer where the engine is revving up. And this, extension of the torque curve basically took in the 440 horsepower. Of course, this is providing much more sport experience now driving the engine, because actually the engine is really pushing linear until the limit. So if you don't pay attention when you need to shift the gears, you will actually crash into the limit as much as the engine is pushing. So this is the way we did it. We had some minor modification to the engine. We didn't need too much because, the Nettuno engine is very capable engine. It's already delivering up to 640 homologated on the MC Pura. We have racing version of this engine, which goes up to 740. So it's a super capable engine. Also, last week we said our engine with hydrogen ignition was run at Le Mans. So, the Nettuno engine is very capable, and so he didn't require heavy intervention to get to the 590 horsepower.
Thank you. We have time for a couple of more questions. Let's stay in the engine universe and stay with you. Of course, other contributions are welcome. Why is Maserati not interested in plug-in hybrids? Too heavy? From Ellis Hyde, Auto Express.
So we are interested. Of course, these guys from the engineering are studying continuously, not only in looking at the plug-in, but also at the kind of hybridization. For sure, we are working on it, always imagining an evolution of this engine. We have the V6. For sure, we are working on it.
But maybe I can add on this. Of course, as you said, we continuously evaluating all the options. For sure, we know plug-in cars are getting more and more heavy with big batteries. And we also know that in many cases, this is a long-lasting discussion about plugins that customers don't really charge. So at the end of the day, you're using the engine to recharge the battery. So in this discussion, we tend not to prefer plug-in hybrid solution for Maserati. We do think if somebody really likes to drive electric, should go for our Folgores. Then, of course, there's a benefit of efficiency from hybridization, but to get it, we don't believe we do need to get to until plug-in. So, our preferred solution are mild hybrid or high voltage hybrid, but potentially with smaller batteries.
Very good, thank you. Maybe last, but maybe we have another one from Fernando Gomez from Razao Automóveis from Portugal. When the cars will be launched in Portugal?
So I will enlarge the picture to all Europe, and I will tell you that Portugal and all Europe will receive the car in September, and that's our launching cadence. So September, Portugal, but also and the other countries in Europe.
Very good. So last one from Andrew Menes, freelance from the USA. What is the biggest challenge facing Maserati today, and what is the biggest opportunity, and how are you approaching both?
That's a very good question. So bring me to the job we did in 2025. First, starting from our team of people that are working in Maserati. We put our hands on the current range, or let's say range of last year, searching the right positioning in the market in terms of competitiveness. Then we enlarged all the offer in terms of color, wheels, interior, everything was in line with the request of our customer. Then we did a very, let's say, good job moving the production of Gran Turismo, Gran Cabrio, coming back to the Modena in the Motor Valley, so where these models were born in the past. Now we are developing the product for the future. You see this 3-car here behind me, and as was announced by our CEO, Antonio Filosa, during the Investor Day a few days ago, so we are looking to come back to the E segment as we were sharing before. What is important for me now is to work together with our network, because I consider continuously the fact that to be in front of the customer, we need to have the right network. And we have the right network globally. For sure, there are locations where we need to fine-tune the relation with our customer. But for me now, the job that we need to do is to work strongly compared with the past with our network.
Can I add as one
Yes, of
thing
course.
for our customers? So since we speak about opportunity, I believe the best opportunity for our customers is to run to the computer tomorrow and start ordering our cars, because tomorrow we open the orders. And I believe that for the future that Santo was just describing, and that will be more detailed in the next months in Modena, whatever you do today, it will gain value in the near future. So run to order the cars tomorrow. It's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very good final message. So thanks, Santo, Cristiano, Klaus, Davide, and thank you for all of you for having stayed with us today. Before you go, kind reminder that the contents of this presentation, including the Q&A, will remain under embargo until tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central European Summer Time. Really thanks for this interactive session. And we will enjoy you a good rest of the day. For countries involved in the football championship, good luck. We will support you because Italy is not there. And thank you very much. And Forza Maserati.
Thank you.
Grazie, you.
Thank you.
Bye.